maybe. No, he's not talking about because you see the brother driving this Lamborghini and you can't afford it. Then you no, that's not hate yet. Okay, that's covetousness. Okay, that's covetousness right there. Okay, something that don't belong to you and you want it, that's covetousness. The Most High hate it too. However, what is to hate somebody? When you hate somebody, what is the real meaning according to the Bible? Let's see. He said, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Semicolon. So he's trying to give us understanding. What is the Most High trying to say when he say, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart? What does it mean? What is the meaning? Right? Because it's a sentence is not over yet. That's why the Most High put was semicolon. Right? Let's read it. He said, thou shalt in any way rebuke thy neighbor. So your son is your neighbor. Your mother is your neighbor. Your wife is your neighbor. Okay, your brother is your neighbor. Your father is your neighbor. Your niece, your nephew, they're your neighbor. They live with you. You gotta rebuke them. He said, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. There we go. You see the brother literally plotting to go kill somebody, and you know very well, and you just keep quiet. No, that means you hate your brother because you want him to do sin and die and perish. The Most High is not with it. The Most High, he taught us in the beginning. So these are the things we're supposed to be teaching. Well, our brother, our sister, you're supposed to be teaching your children. Not going off lunching, talking about blah, blah, blah. All you know, man. Because this is why our children being shot in the street every day. Every day. Take a look at the news. Take a look. Let me go right here quick. Let me go right here. Because I came across this very, very, very beautiful. Watch this. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay? Pharaoh. Talking about Pharaoh shooting. What do you mean Pharaoh shooting? Get the heck out of here. You kill somebody, you talking about Pharaoh shooting. Check it out. Take a look at this right here. He said Chicago released video showing Pharaoh police shooting a 13-year-old Adam Toledo. Imagine that, 13 years old. 13 years old. That's a baby right there. 13 years old. And they're just in a uniform, crying over everything. They can't do anything. They can't do anything without the gun. All they know is the gun. All they know is gun. Letting they take a gun. They can't solve any issue without gun in this country. They can't solve any issue without gun. All they know is gun. They cannot solve any issue without gun in this country. No issue can they solve in this country without gun. All they know is gun. All they know is gun. They don't know any better. 13 years old, and you grown-up man. This could be your son, or this literally could be your son. Because he is from what? Israel. He's an Israelite. This is Northern Kingdom. And the young brother was put to death. Put to death like nothing. Why? Because the weakness of the parenthood is the weakness because they hate the children. Because they're supposed to know that these things should be something they should be playing game with. That the son be having toy gun, all these, blah, 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 all these. No, man. Don't get on that, man. That's deadly right there. Now they're running for justice for what? What justice? There's no justice from Esau. Understand that. You see, that's the foolishness of our people. After the young brother being put to death already, okay, now they gathered together talking about justice. Justice. What kind of justice are they going to do? They already killed somebody. The brother already being put to death. What kind of justice you expect from a man? From a wicked government? From Babylon the Great? What justice you expecting? What justice you looking for? You won't get no damn justice. There won't be no justice. The only justice you're going to get is from the Most High. Because the Most High is the only righteous judge. There's no judge. I don't see no judges in this place. All I see is the money maker. They just making money. This is a capitalist country. It's all about money, buddy. Talking about what justice? What do you call justice? Where? If there will be justice, there should have been like gone long time ago. What are they still doing here in America? What are the Native Indian? The Taino? What are they? Come on, man. Wake the hell up and understand who you are. Wake the hell up and understand who you are. Wake the hell up and understand. Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me go back again. Salakia, man. This thing just, Salakia, man. All praises to the Most High, all praises. Right. All right. Let me pun this back again. All right. Cut off. So being back again. Right. So we got to understand, man. This is not to play game with the Most High. We got to, I mean, really. This is like unacceptable. It's totally unacceptable. We got to raise up our children as the Most High said. Right? This is the book of Colossians, right? Let's read it. I'm going to go in the book of Colossians chapter 3, and I'm going to read from verses 21, right? The same thing. Same thing, right? Let's go right here. This is the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 21. He said, fathers, right? So again, the Most High speaking to who? To the man, to our father, right? He said, fathers, provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged. How can somebody get discouraged? Because you ain't teaching them righteousness. Because if you teach them the law, the commandment, you give them hope in the law, the Most High through Yahshua Mashiach, they ain't got to worry about it. We ain't got to worry about it. This is the land of destruction, man. This is Babylon. That's where the Most High will swap. Listen, he will finish this land fully. This place will be gone fully. Because it's full with bloodshed. It's too much bloodshed in this kingdom. It's too much bloodshed, right? It's too much bloodshed, right? Let's go right here. Let's get some of these precepts. Let's go in the book of Hebrew, actually. Before I forget about it, let's go in the book of Hebrew, right? Let's go in Hebrew. Let's see what Paul still got to say to our nation. Because Paul was addressing who? The Israelite. The so-called blacks, Latino, and Native Indian. Let's go in the book of Hebrew, chapter 12. Because when you chastise or when you discipline your children, right, guess what? It might not sound good, it might not look good, but guess what? The end result is tight, it's good. I was disciplined way too, listen, harshly back in West Africa by my parents. I didn't die. Actually, that's what brought me, that's what helped me to understand a lot of stuff. And I don't take anything for granted. I do not take things for granted. No, I do not. If I have it, I take it. I don't have it, that's it. If I have it, I'll praise it to the Most High. I don't have it, I'll praise it to the Most High. Point blank, period. Right? Let's read it. This is the book of Hebrews chapter 12, and we'll read verses 11. 12 and 11. Now, no chastening for the prison seems to be joyous. You see that? When you chastening your children, right? The one that the Most High allow you to have, the Most High gave you, is your property that belongs to you. Understand that, right? Guess what Paul said? He said, now, no chastening for the prison. So when you're doing it, right, seem to be joyous. It's not something good. Most people don't like it, right? But grievous. He said it is grievous. It is grievous. It is grievous. Okay, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward, it yielded the peaceful fruit. You see, and that's all you got to keep in mind. You got to rely on the Most High. He said, well, let me read it. He said, nevertheless, afterward, it yield the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. So you're being chastised. You're being rebuked. You're being corrected by your father and your mother. It's beautiful. It's good. You might not like it right now, but later on, you're going to appreciate it. Listen, it's always going to lead to what? Righteousness. This is in the New Testament. Paul, your favorite apostle, Paul, we just read from Paul 3 different witnesses. We read from the Colossians, his letter to the Colossians. We read his letter to the Jews that were living in Ephesus, the Ephesians, and we read it again from the letter he wrote to all the nation of Israel, the Hebrew Israelite. 3 different parts. So keep in mind. Keep that in mind, right? Let's go right here in the book of Sirach. I'm going to go to Sirach, chapter 16 first, right? Let's go to Sirach 16. Because you got to keep in mind, man, a lot of you're raising your children like egg. Listen, Esau is going to break them. You raise your children like eggs, like huevos, Esau is going to break them, for sure. And you know, once the egg breaks on the floor, you know, you cannot collect it. It's over. It's trash, right? So keep in mind, once Esau kills your children, it's gone. It's over. So keep in mind. Keep in mind. And I'm approving to you. The Most High is not, he's not with it. Right? The Most High is not with it. Keep in mind. The Most High is not with it. Right? Let's read right here. Let's just go. Let me open this website quick. Right? I'm looking for something. Right here quick that I would like to share with you. Right? I want to share with you. It's a lot of going on, man. It's a lot of going on. It's a lot of going on. So you got to keep in mind. You got to keep in mind. It's not going to be fun. Right? Shalom, King. Shalom, man. You know, cut off and I came back again. So let me just, I want to share this screen with you, right? Let me pull it down. Right. I want to do this quick. Let me see if I can pull it down. Then I'm going to share it. Check it out. You see what it said right there? Look it up. It's a partial list. Show you my camera. Bear with me. It's a partial list of mass shooting in the United States in 2021. Just, you know, the beginning of the wicked Gregorian calendar, the satanic calendar that they follow, right? Let's see. He said the shooting never stopped. And during the coronavirus pandemic, they just became less public. You see, researchers say. So the researchers say there's always shooting, right? It's a recent mass shooting, right? I just want to share it. We want to show it to our, you know, the public, right? Keep in mind. You see that, right? You see that? All right. So we just want to put out there, man, because our people, they're sleeping. Let's see. Couple of, it's a Chicago and Evanston, right? January 9, 5 killed. There we go. Boom. It's a, let me read a couple out of more. Okay. It's a, that's in January right there. Let me see. It's a March 22nd, 10 killed. Boulder, Colorado. All praise to the Most High. It's a March 28. I think it's in Maryland. It's a 4 killed. Yeah. It's a Indianapolis. It's a January 24, 5 killed. There we go. March 13, 4 killed. April 15, at least 8 killed. There we go. Let's keep on rolling. It's a Orange, California, March 31st, 4 killed. Muskogee, right? Shalom, say. Muskogee in Oklahoma, February 2nd, 6 killed. There we go. It's a April 3rd. Allen, Texas, 4 killed. Let's check it out here. It's a Atlanta, Georgia, March 16, 8 killed. Hey, listen, man. This is judgment from the Most High. This is judgment from the Most High. That's why you got to make sure you're raising up your children according to the word of the Most High, according to the Bible, not according to the government, not according to the social security or social services, right? Because there's a lot of demons out there in the uniform with gun. There's a lot of demons. They don't care. There's a lot of going on, right? There's a lot of going on. Check this out, right? This happened a couple of days ago. You see that? Shalom, King, Shalom, all praise the heaven to the Most High Yahweh. Check this out, man. You see this right here? It's a white soldier charged with assault for shoving, berating black men in viral video. First, we want to correct that, right? We want to correct that. There's no such thing. Shalom, King, all praises, man. All praises be unto the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kadar. First and foremost, we want to correct that. There's no such thing as a black man, okay? This is the color black. Keep in mind, this is black, okay? Okay, we are not black, okay? We differentiate of brown people, and that's not our nationality. Our nationality is war with the Israelite according to the Bible. That's what the Most High say. We don't care what men say. Okay, so we want to correct that. Okay, he's not a black man. He's an Israelite. He's an Israelite, either from the tribe of Benjamin, Judah, or Levi. Understand that. He's not a black man. We just want to correct that first and foremost. And you are what your father is. So if your father is an Israelite, then you're an Israelite. If your father is an Edomite, you are an Edomite. It doesn't matter your mama. Number 118. So keep that in mind. Right? Imagine this. I'm going to play that thing, man. Let me see if they're going to allow me. Watch this. Let me see if I can play. Let me see if they're going to allow me to play. Because I know, I was trying to show it to somebody, and they won't allow me to play. You see that? You see Esau? There we go, man. Hey, this is the Bible, man. You can get any better than this. This is the Bible. You see how he's standing right bold before the face of the young brother? Now, if the young brother, I guarantee you, he got gun right there somewhere. Because he was with his wicked his wicked wife too. Let's see. Let me see if I'll be able to like play. If I can see the video, I'll play. Let me see. Because I'm trying to play that video so you can listen, you can see. He said he's from the military. He's the military. He's all proud. This is Esau, man. That's the spirit of Esau. Alright, let's see. You see that? Hold on. Bear with me. I'll play. I'll bring it up. You see that? There we go. This is happening in America. This is the Bible in the dream.
White man telling him, "Get out of this neighborhood, or I will carry you out."
You see that?
We don't know everything that led up to the incident you're about to see on video. What we do see was enough for prosecutors to say that one man should face charges.
There we go. Now you see our people, they don't know any better, man. All they do, exactly, from the beginning. You see, all our people do, they just start protesting. They don't want to go repent. What are we doing wrongfully? What are we doing as a nation? What are we doing as a nation? What are we doing? Israel is proud, man. He's a proud boy, man. He's the devil from the beginning. He was set up to be a murderer on the earth, but our people don't understand it. He was set up to be a murderer from the beginning, from day one. You see that? He's proud. And this happened like 3 days ago. 3 days ago this happened. So if this young brother, he did not keep calm, he would have lost his life. You see that? 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 They're only going to fine him $500. That's it. And 30 days in the jail. Now, if it was one of us who did that to a needle mine, oh man, he'd been in jail for a minute. He'd been in jail for a minute. That's right. And that's the seed of Cain. He was a murderer from the beginning. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of going on, brothers and sisters. There's a lot of going on. And that's the main reason why the Most High say, well, we got to discipline our children. We got to make sure we're teaching them that's the Most High. Let's go in the book of Sirach. Right. I'm going to read it. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 16, and we're going to start from verse 1. Right. Let's see what the Most High say. Because there's a lot of going on in this kingdom. It's way too much going on. It's just too much. And they got distraction. There's a lot of distraction out there. Right? Let's read it. This is the book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 16 verse 1 through 3. Let's read it. He says, desire not a multitude of unprofitable children. You see? And that's the duty of the man and the woman in our community, in our society. Not wait for the foster care home, wait for the social services, wait for CPS, all this nonsense that you wasting. No, man. You wait on the government to raise your children. The Most already told us to tell them in the beginning. We got to teach our children. Thy son. That's it. And we ain't got to work. Because once you start doing that, the enemy, they are grieved. They are grieved because they see you discipline your children. Because Esau pretty much what he wants. He wants your children to be destroyed. Esau doesn't care. You think Esau care about your children? Man, you a fool. If you believe that the government care about your baby, man, you a fool. Listen, again, I'm going to tell you straight. If you believe that the government care about your baby mailing here in Babylon the Great, man, you are a fool. Listen, I tell you straight up, you are a fool. That means you need to be born again. Definitely. That means you got a lot of issue. You got a lot of issue. A nation that already said from the beginning, they say, you know what? Let us cut them off from being a nation. Are you kidding me? Even though I don't know anything, just so many is enough for me. That they'll come and say, oh, we just worry about your baby. We want to make sure the baby safe. You make sure about who? You make sure who is safe? Where were you when the baby be born? How come you didn't come in the house and give the baby a shower? How come you didn't come and do that? How come you didn't come and give the baby a shower? You care about the baby? How come you didn't take your paycheck and come and give to the baby? Take your paycheck. Don't take your own pay. You say you care about the baby, right? The black baby, and you care about the Latino baby. Man, get out of here, man. Hypocrisy, man. Weakness. I see it in this kingdom. This kingdom is just way too much, man. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Let's read it. He said, well, desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in ungodly sons. And that's what our people don't get, the so-called blacks, Latino, and Native Indian. Exactly. It's to destroy our children. Planned Parenthood is to kill our people, our children. They'll give them to homosexual. They'll give them to transgender. They'll give them up to ultimate, abortion, killing our children, all of it. That's what they want. That's what they want. That's why they make sure they set up abortion clinic in the so-called black community, in the so-called Latino community, Native Indian community. They ain't game. They ain't game. And nothing you under the sun. That on our side, what we asking everybody out there, all the brothers, the so-called black women, the so-called black men, the so-called Latino, Native Indian men and women, we asking you, discipline your children according to the Bible. Listen, discipline your children according to the Bible. Then you ain't got to worry about anything. Nurture them in the Lord. Admonish them in the Lord. Teach them the law, the commandment of the Most High. Teach them to fear the Most High, to keep the law, the commandment of the Most High. And then guess what? You're going to purge out evil. Right? Let's read it. He said, well, though they multiply, rejoice not in them. There we go. That's what the Most High said. Though they multiply, rejoice not in them, except the fear of the Lord be with them. There we go. So if your children, you got 20 children, or 5, I got 4 kids, they went to Harvard University, blah, blah, blah. Listen, they ain't got to fear the Most High. Hey, it's vain, it's vanity. That's what the scripture say. Let me read it to you. It said, though they multiply, rejoice not in them, except the fear of the Lord be with them. Trust not thou in their life. Respect, it said, neither respect the multitude. For one that is just is better than 1,000. So understand that. The Most High put it out there plain. One son that's righteous is better than you got 20 kids. They're all wicked. They're all drug dealer, vampire, demon dealer. The Most High is nowhere. Okay? Okay, understand that. Let me read it to you. He said, trust not thou in the life, neither respect the multitude. For one that is just is better than 1,000. And better it is to die without children than to have them that are ungodly. So understand that. Understand that. You got ungodly children, you can't teach. They can't play with gun. They can't bring gun to the school. What kind of parent do that? You got to educate your children. When they wake up early in the morning, they got to come in the room and say good morning to you. They got to say good morning, dad, good morning, mom. Okay, did you brush your mouth? Did you do this? Okay, do your call. Did you study? The way you got to be. Okay, you know this is Shabbat. We can't go outside. You can't hang out with your friend. This and that. You got to start doing that from the beginning. You got to start doing that from the beginning. Then guess what? Esau won't be able to do anything to them. Esau will not be able, because the Lord will be always protecting them, watching over them. The angel, they will always going to camp around them. So don't be happy because you got 5 children, 3 children, you're collecting welfare check from the government, all these things, and then you're happy. That's weakness, because at the end of the day, they're all going to die and go to hell. Okay? At the end of the day, they're all going to die and go to hell. Is that what you want? It's up to you. You want to have multitude of children and you claim them on welfare check, blah, 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 all this. Listen, and they don't keep the commandment of the Most High. Right? I'm telling you, bro. Hey, bro, hey, listen, I did the same thing, bro. I'm down with you, bro. I did the same thing. Listen, like I tell you straight up, bro. I respect, I honor my parents, as the Most High say, when it comes to financial, they need this. But a lot of stuff, bro, we are kind of sacred. You see what I'm saying? I honor them as the Most High say. Remember, as Yahushua Mashiach say, honor them. Whatsoever they need, if they need food and things like that, hey, I give it to them, because that took care of that. But except for that, bro, listen, man, it's all I cut them loose, bro. Because with that, you can't serve the Most High. With the spirit being wicked, you can't serve the Most High. How can you serve the Most High? You got wicked parent where you can't even do anything. You see what I'm saying? That's the saddest part. That's why Christ said, who is my mother, who is my sister, who is my brother? They that do the will of my Father, those that keep the commandment. That's what the Most High said. But we get caught up, all Israel, we get caught up into emotion. We get caught up into emotion. No, man. If they're wicked, for example, let's assume if my dad is a killer, is a murderer, what do I have to do with it? You see what I'm saying? And that's the reality our people don't want to face. And that's the main thing. We got to make sure that our children, you have a baby, a children, make sure you raise them up according to the law of the Bible. You got to teach them. We don't eat no pepperoni. We don't eat no pork. Okay, we don't celebrate birthday. We don't celebrate Halloween. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. You got to start lining them up. And guess what? The Most High will always be there to lay everything nice unto you. Because what he said? He said what? He said, and better it is to die without children than to have them that are ungodly. You see? For by one that had understanding shall the city be replenished. The Most High said, I only need one righteous. I don't care about the other one. That's what the Bible is saying. You see? By the kindred of the wicked shall speedily become desolate. So though you have many of them, the Most High say, I'll kill them off. I'll kill them. So you want to wait on the enemy to raise up your children? Oh, that's abominable right there, man. For real. That's super abominable. Like, I can't even stand it. For me, I can't even stand it. It's okay. You can't tell me how I got to raise my children. No. Because we are different race of people. Okay? If you want to raise your children like this way, I don't want to raise my children that way. That's you. That's on you. You don't live with me in my property. You don't live with me. You don't know what we go through on a daily basis. You don't feed our children. You don't. What are you talking about? He said, many certain have I seen with my eye, and my ear have heard greater things than these. Let's jump right here. Let's go to Sirach chapter 30. Let's go to Sirach chapter 30. Because this, I want to put out there, man. That's why I want to take my time to make this lesson. So it will be out there. There won't be no excuses. Because a lot of people, they always want to give excuses. Excuses. There's no excuses. Okay? Let's see. It's not when you buy flour, oh, you buy this to your kid, blah, 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 you love them. That's no love. You hate them actually. But if you teach them the law, the commandment of the Most High, you rebuke them, that means you love your children as you love yourself. Because if you love your children, it's like I see a young boy, 19 or 16 years old. He just trying to choke himself to death. Imagine that. And he was rushed to the emergency room. And that was one of our people. And you know, he got to put Benjamin, Judah, Oliver. I saw him on the news last week. He just they were playing contest who can choke himself to death. And he choked himself to death. Imagine that. What kind of righteous children, like person act like that? You want to choke yourself to death. You tempting the Most High. Imagine that. Just tempting the Most High. You 19 years old, you bring gun in the school. 17 years, you bring gun in the school. Let's read it. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 30, and let's read from verses 1. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 30, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30, and verses 1. He said, he that loveth his son, so your son or your daughter. Okay? Exactly. That's the greatest gift, bro. That's the greatest gift ever. Ever. You can give to your children. Because guess what? Even though you die, guess what? You ain't got to worry because you already prepared them. You set them up to have the fear of the Most High, to follow the living God Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. And that's all you need. That's all we need. We don't need anything else. It's not about you give this house to, let's suppose you give them a big house and they all drug addict. They all murder and they start doing adultery, fornication. Then they catch a disease and they all die. Who's going to take care of the house that you gave them? Who? Esau's going to confiscate the house. And guess what? It's too late. You see, that's the main reason we got to think. We got to use our mind. Let us focus on the wisdom. What is wisdom? The law, the statute, the judgment of the Most High. That's his life right there. That's the life we need right there. Oh yeah, you leave a big mansion to your children. Oh yeah, I left my company for them. Yeah, that's vain. Guess what? If they don't have the fear of the Most High, it's vain. It's vain because that house won't save them. You got to give them what will save my children. What will save them? I don't want them to live in